Welcome to the People Connect podcast. Your network is your net worth. Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Be prepared to leap out of your comfort zone and connect with the who's who of what you want to do. Stop, drop, and roll as we start, market, and grow the CEO of you and your host, Nichelle Womack. She will help you engage, reinvent, motivate, and reactivate your plans for success.
Hey everybody, happy Monday. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Stopping in to give you a couple of tips here. On my IG page, my Instagram, I had several people reach out to me and ask me about some struggles for entrepreneurship. And when I started my biz, they felt like they were struggling. And so I thought I shared this information on Periscope as well as I shared it on Instagram. If you're not connected with me, go to @Nichelle Womack on Instagram. I constantly share good things about inspiration, motivation, business, and some fun pics and all that kind of stuff. So I look forward to connecting with you there. 5 things that I really struggled with as an entrepreneur when I first started my business 25 years ago. And I must admit, sometimes I still struggle with them now. But I have now associated myself with people who can help keep me accountable in that struggle of entrepreneurship. And I want to share them with you today. The first thing that really shook me 25 years ago when I started my business was myself. And I know this sounds crazy, but as an entrepreneur, I was not used to having to do my own thing. The 9 to 5 was something that, as most people, you're familiar with that. You know that you have to be at work at 9. You know you get off at 5. You know you take your lunch break at 12. But being an entrepreneur, I really had to adjust and adapt to that new lifestyle. And I always tell new first-time entrepreneurs, it is something really to reckon with. It's something that if you are not prepared, is really going to catch you off sync. It's going to really startle you because you look for the transition in entrepreneurship to be able to be accountable to yourself. It's difficult. It's difficult saying, okay, well, I've started my own business. Do I start at 9? Do I start at 8? Do I get off at 4? Do I just kick my heels up at 12 and say I'm through? No. So myself, and I were the greatest struggles in transitioning. I knew what I needed to do, but I was used to being told what to do. I was used to being told when I needed to take vacation, lunch, when I needed to be sick, when I can take days off and things of that nature. So struggling as a new entrepreneur, it's very difficult to adjust and adapt to that. And that's why it's so key and so important that you get around other entrepreneurs who are aspiring to build and grow in their businesses as well. The second thing that I struggled with as a new entrepreneur was other people. Why did I struggle with other people? Very simple. I didn't feel like I was getting the support that I was getting for a job. I saw a post on Facebook a while ago and somebody said if I was to tell people that I got a new job, I'll get tons of likes. But I started a business and I only got 1 like. And I thought, wow, it's really unfortunate that when you are taking a transition in your life, you're stepping to another boundary, that people don't support that journey, but they'll definitely support you going to work for somebody else's dream, their destination and their journey. So I felt that. Even today, when I am speaking to clients about, they tell me, well, my so-and-so don't support me and all of that, I tell them, well, keep going. Because what you're going to find, majority of them are not going to support you. They'll say they do, but ask them to buy something. They'll say they do, but when they know what you do, they'll ask you for your advice, but not offer you any compensation. And so when you're talking about other people, they really have a dramatic impact in how we see ourselves as entrepreneurs and moving forward. But again, I say keep going. Because if you allow them to dictate your success in your business, what you're going to find out is you're going to fail quickly, if you're depending on other people to help matriculate your success. And so talking to the clients that I was speaking to on Instagram, one of them in particular asked me, that they were unfortunately let go from their position about 2 weeks ago. And they stated that, they had to pick up a little side hustle of baking cakes like right away. She bakes cakes, she makes booties, little booties for children, and like blankets and stuff. She was always creative in those areas, but she really didn't start doing it until she lost her job. She had always been baking cakes, but never charging for them. She always been doing baby shower gifts, but never charging friends and family for it. So when she lost her job, she stated to me that she started asking people, give me whatever you think it's worth. She started asking people, give people what they think it's worth. And I told her, that's the first mistake you made right there. Asking people to tell you to give you what they think it's worth. Do you know people won't pay you a dime? If they pay you a dime, it's not going to be much of nothing, because your worth to them means nothing. We have to learn our value. What is your net worth? Nobody cares about that. But what is your value? You put time, you put effort into making those products, and they give you $10. Is your time worth $10? You determine how much you want people to pay you for the services that you're rendering and that you're offering. If they're not willing to pay that, then so be it. Move on. Perhaps maybe that's not your people. And we have to be okay with that. It took me a minute to be okay with that, because other people impacted me by what they were willing to pay for my services. And then I quickly understood and learned that it was time to move on. Being in real estate, I really didn't have a determining factor about how much a house was going to cost and whether or not you will be able to pay me this and pay me that. It was really depending on what you choose and what they chose at that time. And so for people to ask you to give you a discount, to me, that's an insult to an entrepreneur. I tell them, go ask your employer for a discount when they're paying your salary. It's as simple as that. We have to really, as entrepreneurs, stand up in our ground and make people aware that this is a real profession. I'm so tired of the people saying that you don't work and all that kind of stuff because you work for yourself. It really is sad and it's disheartening. And so other people, when I first started my business, and even to this day, I still get people wanting discounts. They want you to do this and do that, but they're only willing to pay you so much. You have to say no. Everybody is not your people. Understand that. Move on. Find out who your people are, and people will be willing to pay if you're offering value. That's the bottom line. You go to the store and buy a product. A lot of times people buy from people they don't necessarily like, but they give them value, so they buy. And you have to recognize that and realize that. The next thing that really I struggle with, I'm lessening that struggle now, but when I first started my business, I really struggled with time management. And entrepreneurship is something that you either have enough time for or not enough time to do it. And it really is kind of crazy, because you really have to make time for something that you want to work, especially if you are working a 9-to-5. You have to find time for your business. Otherwise, you're not in business. You're basically doing something you like to do or a hobby. And when you find time for it, then you are carving out the necessary requirements to build your business. Just like you give that job 9-to-5, you have to carve out time just for that business, whether it takes 2-3 hours a day. I remember starting my business, I would stay up until probably about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Then I had class the next day, getting up trying to go to class, and I was always tired. People would ask me why I'm tired. I'm saying because I'm working multiple jobs, and in essence I was building my business. And when I got out of school and went into the business that I was forced to go into because I was laid off, then I saw it really was a serious issue. I needed to treat my business just like I treated that job that I gave all my hard-earned time, my life, my day away from my family. I had to do the same thing for my business. And so when you look at time, you're either going to have not enough or too much. And so not enough time means that you need to look at time management. You need to allocate quarterly days, break them into quarters or break it into weeks, setting your goals and things of that nature so you can stay on task with your goals and your visions. When you have too much time, you find yourself doing things that are not necessarily impacting your business. Perhaps maybe you're spending time with dream thieves. Perhaps maybe you are spending time doing things that are not compensating for your time, because time is one thing that we cannot get back. If you waste time doing things, what you'll find out is that you're going to be losing a lot of money, a lot of thought process where you can be building if you were doing something beneficial for it. And so I know a lot of people, they spend a lot of time online because that's where they get majority of their clients. In my businesses that I'm in, except the consulting, that's really, most of my business is right where I am. Clients, I'm marketing online and things, but they don't necessarily pick me up via social media by doing live streaming. So other businesses that I do, they do. And so I find live streaming and social media and things of that nature really is an addition to already the current marketing that I'm already doing. So you have to find what works in your business, what allows you to get the clients that you desire and the type of clients, because you really can target by sectoring, different social medias and what you put out and what people want to hear and what they need to hear. You really can devise a plan and be successful at it. I know several people that are. And so that's one thing that you really need to pay attention to as a new entrepreneur. You need to pay attention to your time. The next thing that I really had to focus in on was money. Hey, welcome. Thank you for coming in and throwing up those hearts. Hey, DJ, how you doing today? Money. When you're talking about entrepreneurship, you're a new business owner, money is very essential that you need in your business. Your business can't flow if you don't have the money. And I tell you, hey, DJ, one thing that really, harbored against me when I started my business is because I had a brick and mortar. My brick and mortar required rent to be paid. Utilities had to be paid in there. And paying those utilities sometimes took away from my household expenses. And I'm a married individual. And my husband was like, look, you're going to have to choose. You're going to have to choose. It's either this business or your home. You're taking too much out of the home and putting it into the business. Not that he didn't support me. It was just the fact that, I couldn't live in my real estate office, so I had to really, really look at what I needed to do to add more money to the business. And that was seeking another stream of income. And that's when I went to go get my insurance license so that I can receive residual income. That's when I started doing network marketing heavily so that I can get residual income. And that residual income started to pay my expenses when the regular income wasn't coming in. And so I tell every new entrepreneur, you need to leverage your skills. You need to leverage your knowledge. And if that requires you adding on to your business, then that's what you have to do. Do something, and I've shared this in previous scopes before, add a complimentary service to whatever you're offering, just as an addition, as an add-on, so that people can have choice and really that can upsell what you're doing. It's so key. It's so important to do that right now because perhaps, like the other day I sold a $10,000 house. Well, my commission was like $300. $300. That's all the bank was willing to pay. $300. Well, that took my time and my expense because I know by the time I got through driving a client around and the time executing the contract and all that, it was way worth more than $300. So I had additional upsells that I shared with them about investing and a couple of, one of my books I sold to them just so I can compensate for the lost time that the bank was willing to pay me. So you really have to look at alternate sources when you are thinking about entrepreneurship and making sure that money stays in your business and that it funnels through. And bills are going to always be there. Even having, business online, you got to pay for your website. You got to pay for marketing and all that stuff. If you're looking for coaching, you got to pay that. And if you want your business to grow, you got to invest in you. You have to invest in not only your business, but you as well, because in your business, that growth comes from the things that you know. The more you know, the more you grow. That's always my message. I just love that message. The more you know, the more you grow. So you got to invest in yourself. And then from there, that investment translates to your business, and you will begin to see a return on your investment if you modify and do the things that you need to do to help grow your business. So as a new entrepreneur, money was a big deal. Even being an entrepreneur for over 25 years, sometimes money is still a big deal, especially when I'm not flowing like I should. The more you know, the more you grow. Yes, you love it. Hey, Louie, how you doing? Yes, that is my favorite quote. I use that. That's my quote that I came up with because I tell people that all the time. The more you know, the more you grow. And if you think about it, Louie, look at it this way. If you're going to school, great. Yes, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. And I pray you are as well. If you're going to school, I shared on my Instagram feed that when I went to undergrad, I had no bills. I mean, I had a scholarship, wasn't super smart, but I had a scholarship, enough for them to give me a scholarship to go to my HBCU, Clark Atlanta University. They gave me a scholarship for undergrad, and then my parents paid the rest of it for my housing and stuff like that. Then grad school, I had a little minimal loan that I took out. And then now at this next phase of grad school, earning this PhD, I find myself in over $100,000 worth of debt. And so when I look at that $100,000, I invested that in me. I owe that. Nobody else does. And so therefore, I'm not going to allow people to take advantage of the knowledge, the $100,000 that I paid, and not be compensated for that. It's just ludicrous. And if you have a trade, you took the time, the effort to go get that trade and learn that trade. So therefore, if you have a skill, then you need to charge your value, and then you will earn your worth. It's as simple as that. Charge your value, the value that you are providing and producing to the consumer, and then you can earn your worth. You know, I don't like that quote, know your worth. Well, you got to know your value before you know your worth. So once I learned my value and what I give, you know, I learned how to charge appropriately for what I was offering. And, you know, sometimes you still struggle with that because I try to help everybody, but I also make them aware that, you know, I may not be the right person for you. You know, everybody, I think when you're looking for a business partner, when you're seeking somebody to learn from, engage with, you really have to see if you share the same values, because even some of the people that I work with, we don't share the same values. And if we don't share the same values, it's really going to be kind of hard for us to see eye to eye. It's going to be really kind of hard. So everything I do is on a spiritual. Hello, how are you? Kakas, I don't know where that is, but hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for retweeting, Louie. I greatly appreciate you. And so, hey, Sheree, how you doing? When I'm speaking to people, I first let them know, you know, I'm a Christian. You know, and I don't like to classify because I'm not a religious person, but I'm, let's see, Kazakhstan. I think that's what Kazakhstan. I think that's it. But I'm not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person. So, you know, occasionally if I'm working with clients, I may be like, praise God, or something along those lines. Or thank you, Jesus. You know, and if that offends them, you know, I make them aware that, you know, you may get that. I want everything that I do to be real and to affect people, that they, you know, that they understand that I'm coming to you from a spiritual perspective, because I know where abundance comes from, and it comes through the concentration of your spiritual connection to the Most High. Now, there are plenty of different religions, and that's not what this scope is about. But when I'm working with people, I make them aware of that. So if that's going to make you uncomfortable, then perhaps I may not be the person that you want to work with in growing, you know, starting a business, or even in life. Because when I'm consulting people, I personally have been married for 21 years. I speak to a lot of people, and I never really share this about relationships, you know, because I don't consider myself a relationship coach. But I can tell you how to be married 21 years and be happy, and to have 2 kids. I can tell you that because I've done it. You know, when somebody's trying to tell me how to do something and they've never done it before, you know, not that I don't take that information, because I believe everybody can share something, but I fine tooth comb it. You know, I've been in business 25 years, and, you know, I don't know everything. Like I said, I've been married 21 years. I don't know everything about marriage, about business, about life, but I can tell you that I've experienced enough that I can tell you what works and what don't work. And again, what worked for me may not work for you. You know, my husband and I, we have a very, very different relationship, that when I look at other people's relationships, I'm like, whoa, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that, you know, and they couldn't do what we do. And that's what makes every relationship, every life, every business unique. And you have to rock your uniqueness, whatever that is. And I think what really has kept our bond together for 21 years is respect. And I think that goes across the board in anything you do, business, relationships, life, respect. My husband respects me. I respect him. And that's been part of the struggle when you're starting your business, because, see, your spouse has to have that vision just like you do. You got to have a supportive spouse if you're thinking about transitioning careers, if you're thinking about starting a business, because if you have somebody on your side or in your household, especially, and they don't support you, that is a struggle in itself. And so I thank God that He blessed me with a spouse who not only believed in my dreams, but lived my dreams with me. And not to say, it's been perfect along the ride, because I don't know anybody that has a perfect business. I don't know anybody that has a perfect life or even a perfect relationship. Everything worth having comes with struggle. And depending on the type of person you are, it shows how you can handle it and how you deal with it. And so I personally take struggle, again, with a fine-tooth comb. I begin to see where I'm at fault, because before I can place judgment on anybody else, I have to see what I did and what I can do to correct that. I'm a Virgo, and I stated that a little earlier. I said, sometimes I say what's on my mind. I really do. I don't hold anything back, because I'm not fake. I'm who I am, and I don't apologize for that. And some people get offended when people are straightforward with them and tell the truth. They get offended. They're like, oh, she thinks she all that and all that. No, it's just people being real. I think we've gotten so used to lies that the truth hurts. And that truth hurts so bad that people don't want to deal with it. And I'd rather you tell me the truth than lie to me. If you don't like me, fine. It's okay, because everybody don't like everybody, and everybody ain't meant to be liked. And if that's how you feel, then I say, again, I'm not the person for you. Because I personally, to be honest, I've never met anybody that I've hated. Never. Again, I'm not perfect, but I ain't got time to hate you. It's as simple as that, because I know I have flaws. I have flaws just like everybody else. And for me to waste my time hating on you in any struggle that you're in, because we all have struggles, as I mentioned, that's a waste of my time. So I never understood why people dislike, why people hate people. Really, why? I just don't have time for it. If we're not a good match for each other, bye. Maybe catch you in the next life. Hopefully we'll come in contact with each other another time soon. But if not, oh well, life goes on. Toodles. Yes. So in talking about that, like I said, we have to, I never proclaim to be an expert either, but I will tell you I'm very good in what I do. And I think the people that I've helped, I know they will vouch for the fact that I've given them wise, lack of judgment, advice, and everything I do is in discernment. I pray about it before I say it. And again, like I said, everybody don't take the truth well. Some people get offended by the truth, and they place judgment because of that. And I'm one of those kind of people. Again, I don't have time to judge you. I don't know you. You don't know me. And when I say I don't know you, don't know me, all of us have things in our life that people can judge us on. But I look at the source. The source. He's the one to make the decision as to where you're going to go, not me. So why do I have to judge you in anything? Okay. And that's how I live my life. Happy. Okay. Number 5, when I talked about the struggle, and I got into a tangent there. Some days I'll just skip over to another message. And that wasn't what the message was supposed to be. But when I'm talking about struggles, when I started my business, and even now, I still struggle with this sometimes. But I've learned to appropriate each situation. And that's talking about business and personal. I think I was on that. If I was, I went up on a tangent. But you got to know how to separate business from personal. Because if you don't, I find that, again, as I mentioned, people will take advantage of you. You will find yourself doing stuff for free all the time. And you sitting up over there hungry. You sitting up over there, your bills not paid. Your car, no, they getting ready to come get your car. Your mortgage not paid and all that stuff. You got to stop giving away everything that you've invested in yourself for. Every now and then it's good. It's good to, sometimes you really have to do free sometimes just to give people a taste of it. And I think this is the best way to give people a taste of who you are. Live streaming. People learn you. You may not know, but you can kind of personally tell about a person, their character. It's kind of hard to dispel character when you're talking with someone face to face, and this is face to face. You really see who people are. You're awesome. Loving this. I'm from the UK. By the way, this is amazing. Very informative. Oh, Louis, you are amazing too. I love UK, United Kingdom. Never been there. But I see so much about it. And I always wanted to visit the prince and the princess, the Kate. I think that's, I would love to. It seemed like they're such an amazing couple. I don't know how you guys view them. It looks like you guys view them as positive because you guys are always parading around them. And I just love that family. They have a very beautiful family. And I always want to get there to see the queen and all of that. That's a wonderful life. It's always cold there. The royal family are great. Yes, Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad because like I said, they're portrayed as being wonderful, but you never know what the population there thinks of their royalty. So it's good to know that they're that way because I admire them and everything that happens. And we can see, yes, it's very cold, lots of rain. I see that. Yes, lots of rain, very cold. I don't know if I'll do well with that. Yes, Louis, because I'm in the Midwest. And we have a lot of cold weather here too. Like this week, it's supposed to rain. Today it rained, it hailed, and then it'll turn around and snow in the Midwest. So we never have, do you get snow there or is it just rain and cold? I'm assuming you probably get a little snow too. But yeah, so thank you for taking time out of your day, Louis, to be here. I greatly appreciate you retweeting this. Wow, I haven't seen. Oh, okay. You haven't seen snow for 4 years. After growing up in snow, Louis, I like it. Global warming. Yeah, okay. It's been affecting us too. I think it was in January. We had like 80 degrees in January. Global warming. I think it's actually around the world. Yes. You miss snow? I wouldn't say I miss it. 80. Yeah, I like 80. I actually like spring. I'm a fall baby. I was born in September, so I like the fall and I like spring. But we sometimes skip from spring to summer. Like right now, today was 80 degrees, 82 degrees, somewhere around there. Yes, spring is yes. I love like 60s, 70s. I like anywhere where I can wear a jacket and I don't have to put on a lot of clothes. I love clothes, that to cover up. So, and then I like to have the sundresses on too. So whatever. Yes, but that rain every day, that's kind of like, I was in Seattle and it rained every day. In Washington, the area out there, it rained every day. I was not happy there. I was not happy. And then thinking about doing Alaska, but they told me it never gets dark there. That would really mess up my sleep. But just for the experience. But one day, Louis, I hope and pray that I get to the UK and get to enjoy some of you guys' sites there. Hi, Sammy. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. So I have shared with you guys 5 struggles that I've endured as an entrepreneur when I first started my business 25 years ago. And even now, it happens. Life happens. The first one, myself, kind of dived into that. No, I don't. The second one was other people. And the third one was time. The fourth one was money. And the fifth one was separating biz from personal. Yes, no problem. Those are the things that I struggled with as an entrepreneur. Please come to me. You would love to have me. Okay, Louis, I'll let you know. I know it's not going to be anytime soon. Perhaps maybe in the next 3 years. God say the same, that I'll get that opportunity. And the reason why is because I already have a lot of stuff planned up right now. And, I travel a lot with my children. They play basketball, so I travel with them. And UK, that's something we have to plan for monetarily because I don't like to go nowhere broke. Okay. I like to be able to do what I want to do when I travel to where I want to go. So that's going to take some planning because I know the flight is not cheap. I checked into it. It's not cheap at all, Louis. And y'all, hotel's expensive too. See, I checked into it. I know it's not cheap, not at all. But I do hope to have that honor to be in your wonderful place of space in the UK. So any questions about anything that I can answer? Thank you for all the hearts. Smart thinking, looking ahead. Yeah, you got to look ahead. I mean, anything in life. I try to be a visionary. I am a visionary. So I look ahead, Louis. Not that I can predict the future, but you can plan the future. Not that you can predict it, but you can plan it. And so if I plan 3-5 years that I can come to the UK, then I can start saving and investing in those resources, making certain that I'm staying where I want to stay. I like 5-star hotels. So in order for me to compensate for my desires, then I got to plan, be visionary, look ahead, and all that kind of stuff. So yes. Any questions that I can answer? I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. For all my replay viewers, thanks for coming in and tapping that screen and sharing the love. You can catch me on Instagram at Nichelle Womack. I'm also on Twitter at Nichelle Womack and on Facebook at The Life Transition Strategist. And if you just like good messages and you listen to podcasts, you can download my podcast at the People Connect podcast. And if you want to learn more about me, go to bit.ly/2excel with Nichelle, and you can see all the things that I have available to help you transition in your life, your business, or in your relationship. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks again, Louie, for the conversation. Greatly appreciate you for that. Thank you. It's hard to keep your business and your social life. It really is, Louie. It really is. But it's not difficult. It's not difficult. You have to know that there's a fine, thin line between business and personal. And you have to know that there's a time for business and a time for personal. And you have to be able to distinguish between those two and make people aware. I do a lot of business personal engagement. And the first thing when we're getting ready to start doing business, I make them aware. Okay, this is business now. Because you have to separate them, because if you don't, you find yourself in that discount phase. People want to get something for nothing. And you find yourself, as I mentioned again, giving things away for free when you really should be charging them a business consulting fee. It's okay to give information, but when you start diving in, giving suggestions as far as different specific things and getting concrete planning and things of that nature, then you have to really separate it and let them know, okay, now we're stepping into business now. And then they take it for what it's worth and let them know this is the fee that I charge. And you got to be firm with it. If you're not, then they're going to think you're still personal. So I agree it is, but if you go into it with that mindset and idea, I think it's easy to separate it from there. So, hey, Sanyok, how you doing? So that is my message for you today. I look forward to engaging with you. As I mentioned, if you'd like to learn more about what I do, you can go to bit.ly/to-excel with Nichelle, and that's N as in Nancy, and you can learn about some things that I got going on. Love for you to be a part of my space. I love meeting new people. I love connecting with new people. It's been a pleasure speaking with you this Monday evening, and I am signing off now as Nichelle, your life transition and business strategist. Be blessed and highly favored in everything that you do, and may everything you touch turn to gold. Always informative. Thanks again. Very useful. I'll be viewing more future episodes. Bye. Thanks, Louie. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. It won't cut off. I'm trying to cut this off. Thanks for the heart, Louie. I really appreciate it. Trying to cut this off. Won't cut off.